I am with a special guest and he is also my good friend. The person who gave me yung unang trabaho ko, my very first job, a social media tycoon and an influencer of his kind. His name is Bran Reluao. Welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for inviting me. I'm not actually a tycoon, ha?
Yeah, you are. You're just too, masyado ka lang nahihiya, but you're not.
I'm not on the top tier as of the moment.
So, I invited you here because I wanted our viewers to know how you reached that point where you are now. Lalo na at a very young age. Kasi we met like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, when we are 18 and you're 17.
I was 17, I was drinking weekly, and you were out there hustling. Tatrabaho ka na, you were doing stuff na hindi ko naman ginagawa talaga. Anong nag-bring sa'yo to work at such a young age?
Venturing to social media is something happened to me. It's something like it's not from out of nowhere because I started creating a blog. It's not a typical blog. It's like a more of quote page. When that blog or that quote page went viral, a lot of brands, a lot of corporations actually messaging me if they could promote organically their brand, something like that. And from that, oh, there's a potential. Oh, may pera pala dito. So I started doing that. I started promoting some brands, promoting some corporations, some advocacy, and they pay me for that. Every time I post something about it organically, they pay for it. And from that, I met a lot of people, a lot of network. I met a lot of the millions of followers from different kind of pages. Some personalities, some bloggers, some influencers, things like that. And I started a community from it. This is my first job actually, my big break actually. And this is always the start of my, kumbaga, kung saan yung nag-start ng pinaka breakthrough ko when it comes to social media. When a big telecommunication taught me actually to create a community and to promote them organically.
From what you're saying, yung pinaka nag-establish ng journey mo or nag-spark plug kung saan ka papunta is really the connection. The people you met.
Yeah, it's actually the people that I met, and then somehow I met a lot of people with the right connection, with the right influence, I think.
Oo. Pero what was your hilig talaga? Kasi you're for marketing ka din, di ba?
Yeah.
Is it really social media or may ibang, out of all the facets ng marketing, dami, social media, PR, sales and all that shit. What made you, why social media?
It's not only about social media, but one of our biggest platform right now that we are using to introduce most of my clients is through social media. But I think the right term to call my career or to call what I am doing right now is communication operator. I'm doing an operation for communication. So I use publicity. I use the traditional advertising where I tap TV networks, radio networks, newspapers. But the biggest platform that we are trying to use and maximize at the moment is, of course, social media. Because alam natin right now that most of the people, lahat yata may tablet na right now, yata right now may phone. So even 6 years old is actually having social media. So if you want to top all kinds of people, you need to use social media and to maximize social media. So that's the biggest platform. But of course, I have the people around me because I'm not best at all. I'm not really good in writing. I'm not really good in talking to these people and that and that. I think one of my secrets that I want to share with you is actually maintaining a good relationship with the right people. So for example, I have right now the best PR. So I'm working with the best PR, best publicists in the people. So if I have a political client, I work with them. I introduce this PR. So to make sure that this politician will have the best PR. In terms of social media, I have the best social media strategists working with me 24/7, making sure and creating the best strategy that's applicable with this client, whether it's a politician or a public personality or a corporation. So it's more of, I think the secret here is working with the best people, working with the best team, and making sure that make sure that everything's working. I think most of my clients tells me about na they like my agility and flexibility because in this age you need to adapt. What's good right now maybe not good next week.
Yeah, that's true.
So you need to be very flexible and you need to adapt every now and then.
Gusto ko din itanong sa'yo is, personally,
Yeah,
that's why I
sure.
wrote all those guide questions. Kasi yun yung mga gusto ko talagang itanong sa'yo. And one of those things, you started with our company, yung kung saan mo ako kinuha. And now, I've seen you venture into different fields, different
just to
industries,
share,
clients, di ba?
I started my first startup company with Lee actually. He was my social media manager. He works with me. But we work with brands panon eh. We don't work with politicians before that time. It was more about working with brands. So he's one of my best social media. He's actually very good. It's actually first job, but yet he knows how to deal with everything. He knows how to deal with stress. Kasi very stressful yung environment namin.
I was working 14-hour shifts.
Yeah, it's a very stressful environment because my mentor was actually even around 3 in the morning, she will call me and, oh, Brian, I have this idea, we need to execute this. And since I'm the person in charge to make sure that everything is executed very well, I need to call my people. One of them is Lee, and around 5 or 6 in the morning, and then, what? Kailangan natin gawin to and everything like that. So, it's like that. So, parang, it's actually a good experience as well. Kaya siguro naging very flexible din ako. So because
even for me, that was a very good experience. And yung mga tipong tatawag ikaw or yung boss natin before ng 5 a.m., ng 6 or even 4, basag na basag ka pa. It's either lasing ka nung gabi, hirap gumising,
pero you're not drinking, guys.
Or wala, puyat ka lang. Or bitin ka pa sa tulog, tatawagan ka. And you have to pick up, you have to do something about it. That's a good training. That was one of the best trainings I had. Even if it was short-lived. Okay, kasi pucha, pag ngayon may tatawag ng 11, ng 12, sige. When you've been through somehow hell and back, parang...
Oh my God, so hell pala yung galingan namin.
No.
No joke.
It was a good kind of hell. Pero we were working with brands during those times. And then I've seen you progress. Tapos you were working already with politicians, with some attorneys, I think.
But we can say that.
Yeah, of course. With attorneys, politicians, so it was politics. And then now, you have the Bran Reluao and Associates, where based on what I've been seeing, you advertise tourism na rin.
My first breakthrough naman sa politician, when I was stopped by a vice governor. I can name her. She's and I'm very thankful for her. Hi Ate Kay, she's the vice governor of Masbate. She wanted to promote tourism of Masbate because there's a lot of tourist spot here in Masbate province, and it's like something that people is not yet discovered yet. So right now, Ate Kay, or Vice Governor Kay Reville, has this idea that she wants to use social media to maximize the potential to promote the tourism in Masbate. So she knows that I have this kind of network. So she called me and she told me about her plans, and I told her, "Oh, okay, let's try it." And from that, Masbate increased the tourism that I think that's around 2016 or 2017 to 75% of tourist visit in that year. From 6 months of campaign, nagkaroon ng 75% of tourist visits. So it was really
considering ito first encounter mo to.
with tourism. And lumabas siya sa Jessica Soho, lumabas siya sa Rated K, sa TV Patrol. There was a lot of newspaper covering about it. There was a magazine covering about the tourism of Masbate. So from there, kumbaga, tuloy-tuloy siya. And when I met other politicians as well, they also wanted to promote the tourism in their municipality or their city because they see the potential. Kasi I think the mindset of the politician is when you promote the tourism or when you promote the municipality, a lot of investor will come. And if a lot of investor will come, a lot of things ang pwede nilang magawa, di ba? So they could improve the roads, they could build this public facilities. So it's very important for politicians or public officials to promote the tourism para mas may mainganyo pa sila
Yeah,
ng mga investors, businessmen to build businesses. So they will earn more in the taxes, and those taxes will be billed for more public spaces, something like that.
So from one single source, so that kind of explains the power that social media really has
Yeah,
to this day.
social
Now,
media is
I
very
want you
powerful.
to explain sana and share with us, the core business of Bran Reluao and Associates.
We have a mother company. It's called Campaign Asia. So Campaign Asia is the one who does this analytics. They're really more into big data analytics.
Yeah.
Brand Reluao and Ashes is a communication agency where we specialize in reputation management and crisis management. So basically, if you have a brand na in crisis, both online and media, we can help you. We can help you to create the narratives, the spiel, kumbaga, to make sure to control the damage. In reputation management naman, we help you to build your personality online and on grounds. So we make sure from PR perspective to social media perspective to branding, we make sure that it's really a story. There's a story that you could sell to the people. So we make sure that it happens. So that's why I'm working with public personality and politicians more often rather than brands. And I love working in politics.
What's
actually.
better? Anong, for you, brands or politicians?
Brands kasi is under a corporation. So if it's under a corporation, there's a system. You know, there's a bureaucracy. Kumbaga, it takes so much time.
Yeah.
So that's why what I have learned actually is that some brands cannot really adapt, cannot be flexible because of this. Okay lang i-approve before i-approve niya. So there's a lot of things happening, and I don't like that. Not the thing that I want shortcut or things like that, but I want to adopt. I want to be flexible. I want to be agile, something like that. In politics, doon ako naging passionate because we need to do this. Mayor, we need to do this.
It's way
Kong,
fast.
we need to do this. And the congressmen, the mayors are very fast. They're like, or maybe because I met young politicians, not the traditional politician. I met, most of my clients are very young, very millennial. They're like 35 to 45 years old actually. And they see the potential of social media because not all politicians see the potential of the social media.
Okay.
So since I'm dealing with millennial politicians, public officials, they see the importance and they see how this social media can help them more in their public service. Something like that. I'm very passionate lang talaga to do things. If we can do it, kasi for me, ang belief ko is, there's no impossible here. There's no impossible. You can do anything. There's always a creative solution for every problem that you face. So,
I believe so.
and challenging yung politics kasi every now and then may problem. Every now and then kailangan mo i-solve. So, that's what I want.
What was your maybe hardest encounter? Or, we don't have to name it. Parang your hardest encounter with a politician. Maybe the hardest to rebrand, the hardest to look good.
I work with a very traditional politician. He's conservative yet open to use social media because we know Duterte is one of the example of who maximized the potential of social
2016.
media. President Duterte. 2019, we see the potential again of social media in getting votes and translating votes. But I always say this, social media doesn't really translate to 100% vote, but it gives perception. It gives perception to the people who to vote. And at the same time, social media helps to influence the behavior, influence the mindset of the people, of the target voters. But it doesn't mean it will translate you into a vote. And going back to your question, I have this kind of client that's very parang he's not sure but he wants to try. And marami ng damage sa kanya. So it was really challenging to really not just rebrand him but to convince the people that he's really a good person. Because for me, he's really a good person because this one thing, I don't work with someone that does not align with my principles, values in life. So I make sure that I work with people na who's aligned with my principle in life because it's easier to do things. So I am aligned with this person, but if you're already late in the game, it's really hard. Kumbaga.
Anong resulta nung ginawa mong campaign? Was it, I mean,
It
if
somehow
we're talking about a really bad reputation, then siguro yung maybe a failed campaign isn't really a failure.
I never had a failed campaign, to be honest. I never had. Most of the time, I work with politicians, whether it's locally or nationally, they always win. So, but this one, it's not a failed one, but it went. It was okay, but we didn't able to really change the perception of the masang Pilipino
So it was
talaga.
that bad. Sobrang sama.
Well, masama yung image,
na,
but to be honest, he's really a good person and I love him. It's a late siya sa game eh. Things happen.
So right now, with late in the game in that concept, so does that mean if you're just starting with social media,
if you're a politician or a brand?
If you are a politician,
if you're a politician,
it's gonna be way harder for you.
By the way, I'm not very I'm not the best resource person when it comes to this because I'm not the top tier. Okay, I'm a person na ano pa dito pa lang I love working behind, not into limelight. So actually, this is my second time that I got an interview, and because he's a very good friend of mine. Anyway, going back to your question again, medyo nahilo na ako that time. Okay, what's your question again?
My question was, if you're too late in the game, let's put it this way, you have two answers.
Okay.
If you're too late in the game as a politician, what is the downside? And as a brand, what is the downside?
If you are running in a national post, in a national election, if you're late in the game, ang laki ng disadvantage mo because in social media, you create perception and relevance. Okay? So right now, if you're running for a national post and you're not using social media to become relevant, and then people will not be aware of you, diba? One thing that I have learned from my mentor is national election is about awareness. It's about familiarity of your last name or your name. Diba? We all know that there's a senator who won the last election, even nakakulong siya because nagbudot-budot siya. He won the election, even nakakulong siya. Diba? And that's the power of social media. Even nakakulong ka, you could win the election, diba? So, di ba kung late ka na sa social media, if you doesn't know how to maximize the social media, it gives you a lot of disadvantages, di ba? But for brands, brands should really try social media. And I think most of the brands are now really in the digital transformation age. They're really exploring the potential of social media. For instance, sa Facebook, you could run Facebook ads. And if you run Facebook ads, if aralin mo lang yung Facebook ads, it could really give you a lead generation or kaya it depends on your objectives. It gives you the right market because
it's hyper-targeted.
Yeah, that's one thing. If you want to target this kind of age, this kind of gender, this kind of demographics, this kind of geo-target location, everything like that, that's a possibility in Facebook actually. And Facebook gives you a good result. So if you're into brands, even beginning pa lang yung brands mo, you should really try to explore Facebook because ang daming may bibigay sa yung good result ng Facebook.
So based on your experience, based on your opinion, so if you happen to be a politician and you are just entering the social media game now, you're at a disadvantage to sum it all up.
For a national, but if you're for a local, it's okay, even you start now. Basta you start now,
No.
promise.
And for
You should
brands-
really start now.
For brands, it's an everlasting competition. So even
Yeah.
if bago ka, you have it. You have a
Yeah.
shot. No?
Yeah.
It's
And
like-
social media is lesser expensive compared naman if you do advertisement in TV. How much it costs per second, diba? Magazine.
That's hundreds, 500,000.
Yeah, it's
for
really
$1 million for a
expensive.
fucking front page.
That's so true. So that's
Uh,
why, diba, social media is it's a platform. It's not free at all because you need to pay for ads to have a number of followers. If you want new organic followers, you need to talk influencers. Oy, influencers ang mamahal na ngayon. So, di ba? And that's a good business actually. So, everyone could be an influencer right now.
Yun nga eh. Speaking of influencer, I wanted to ask you this kanina pa eh. Kasi for me, parang influencer is, the word influencer is being misused.
Okay.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, or if your opinion opposes mine. Kasi the word influence is very heavy. Most content creators, I would rather say, and who calls themselves influencers, mostly ngayon, are entertainers, but not influencers. Kasi when you say you are an influencer, you influence.
Yeah.
You actually invoke an emotion or make them dream bigger or influence them in a way that, yeah, that's influential. But now kasi parang when you have huge following and all that, you're an influencer. But for me, I think that is more of a content creator. Unless you serve a bigger purpose for your content, you are a content creator / entertainer.
How do I define influencer? As long as you influence, it's not about the number of followers.
Yeah, true.
It's not about number of followers. As long as you could really influence people to do things. For
Yeah.
example, if you influence people to actually register this coming 2022 election, that's something. You're an influencer for me. And by the way, guys, you should register in voting because voting is a power. Remember that. If we really want to have better politicians, better people to serve us, we really need to register and we really need to go and vote because that's your power and actually that's your responsibility as a citizen of this country. Going back to your question, for me, as long as you can influence people, that's
Whether
it.
good or bad.
Whether it's good or bad, actually, as long as you can influence people, 1,000 now followers, even you have 1,000 followers, then 100 of this buys this product because you introduced them to. You're already an influencer. If you have 100,000 followers, then no one buys this product. You're not an effective influencer for me. How do we really define influencer? It's a gray area for me actually. But for me, as long as you can influence someone to do something, to promote something, or to do some action, you're already an influencer. That's how I actually define it. But I'm not very sure. Again, I'm not the expert of this. I'm more of making sure that everything's working.
So, since we're in the influencer talk,
Yeah.
in Bran, Reluao and Associates,
Okay.
diba? I saw your Facebook page and you have this you have a roster of influencers that that you hire or that you employ. You tap. Yeah,
I
that's
tap
cool.
them to make sure.
Tap that you
Yeah.
tap to make the campaigns. Diba?
Yeah.
What is your ando na eh, diba? So gusto kong himayin. What is your criteria for
Okay.
you using these people?
It depends. Most of the time, I use influencer for brands, not in politicians. Unless otherwise, we have a tourism campaign. So I use different.
Yeah, I saw
kind
the
of-
one for Kawit, right? The one
yeah.
on your page. That's
so
on your
so I
page.
use an influencer when we promote tourism. But normally, I dissect it or I divide it to different kind of aspects or factors. For example, I get an influencer in beauty. I get an influencer in sports. I get an influencer. Kasi may influencer has its own niche of community. So if I want to tap all those kind of communities, I need to get one of each from different community. So that's that's a normal strategy that I do. And I normally check engagement more than the followers.
Yeah.
It's very important for me na mas mataas yung engagement kaysa followers. I make sure, I always tell instruct my influencer manager to check the comment section, to check the engagement. Mataas ba yung hearts, mataas ba yung sad, mataas ba yung different kind of reaction, madami ba nagkakaroon ba ng conversation. Conversation is the most important factor for me in getting an influencer, because yeah, you have a 1 million followers, and when you post something and there's only 3 comments, 4 comments, tapos yung comment pa is parang, hi, ako si Abdul, and something like that. Oh, that's something.
Sino ka ba?
Most of the time, I saw that kind of comments. That's not an organic one. So I really look for an influencer na passionate din, na makikipag conversation din siya sa mga nagko-comment, na nagre-reply siya. Kasi that's something na may emotional, may emotional attachment, kumbaga,
It's more personal.
Yeah, it's more personal. Nagkakaroon ng connection. Hindi yung nag-post siya, that's it. There's nothing. There's no conversion on that. However, if the influencer initiate a conversation, replies to the comments, I think that's something a very good sign na good yung nakuha mong influencer. Again, I'm not very expert of this because I have the right people lang with me.
Yun, speaking of the right people,
Okay.
gusto ko din itanong ko, how do you start running an influencer/social media business?
I'm not.
What would be the first
Okay,
step to undertake? Tingin mo?
I'm not running an influencer campaign. I'm not into influencer marketing. Okay.
Yeah, social
So
media.
most of the time I outsource it.
Outsource.
It
Yeah.
actually, but I just set a criteria. For example, for a telecommunication, I make sure na dapat expert yan sa gadget. Dapat may lifestyle yan. Dapat may
I
ganito
see.
yan. And
Okay.
there are different factors that I check. It
Okay.
really depends on the brands. Kasi
I
sometimes
see.
the brands requires naman na ganito, ganyan.
I see.
A macro influencer, a micro influencer, things like that.
Okay.
So,
Now, I want to follow up
something
you
like that.
with, it's really more on connections for you. No? Kasi I've talked to, may mga nakausap din ako na business owners,
Yeah.
CEOs of their own industry. For them, it's more about the grit, more about the hustle. I'm not taking away the hustle for you.
Yeah.
But based on what you're saying, it's more on it's really more on the people you connect with and the people you build a relationship with.
I think
That,
it's that
It's more a network.
I have the right people around me.
Yeah.
That's why it's working for me.
Speaking of the right people are hard to find.
Yeah,
We
that's
know
so
that.
true.
So, was there any time that you missed or you were wrong to judge a person? Like you
Of
thought the
course.
person was right,
That-
but then took
that-
advantage.
That's
What
normal.
happened?
In this industry that I'm working,
Yeah.
a lot of people will betray you, of course. Especially I'm 24 right now, and I'm working with 45 years old, 55 years old. I'm not discriminating, guys. It's more of I'm just telling the reality na some people will betray you because they see you your potential, and diba? Things like that happen. And for me, you just need to let go. When things happen, you just need to let go and just pray to God for
So-
guidance.
So when
I'm
you
not
say
being I'm just being
So
true.
when
I
you
always
say-
pray.
you let go, how does that work? Because letting go is different for many people. Do you let
Okay.
go and not talk to them anymore, or
I'm civil
or you
to
let
them.
go and be civil with them?
Yeah, be
Okay.
civil with them because I don't burn
You don't
bridges.
burn the bridge.
Because maybe one day, di ba, mapakinabangan mo din sila. Because
Yeah.
here's the thing, this is my belief, okay? This is not something, I'm not sure kung good. This is the nature of the environment, the prey and predator relationship. You need to give so you can take something. If you take something, you need to give something. That's how the world works. That's the cycle of the world. And you need to accept that. That's the fact. Okay? You cannot just get and get and get without giving.
That's true.
You need to give so you could, get something in return. And that's how it works. Even in business, I do relationship with these people because I know may makukuha sila sa akin, and at the same time, I can give something to them.
Yeah,
So you need to add value in every relationship because if parehas kayo, for example lang, parehas kayong walang ambisyon, magbabarkada kayo, wala kayong ambisyon, di mag-inuman na lang kayo forever, and what will happen to your life, di ba?
That's
And lalo na ngayon, yung life expectancy, bumababa na, Diyos ko. Ako kasi nagsiset ako. Pag 25 ko, ganito dapat yung mangyari sa life ko. at the age of 30, ganito dapat.
But
Put it in perspective, my
what
life.
if some of those plans do not push through? By 25, you're not this. By 28, you're not this. Because
Well, things happen, and you
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
adjust.
Yeah,
Just,
adjust.
I need
Set
you
new
just
goals,
really
yeah.
need
Set
to
new
adjust.
goals.
But the most important is you need to set goals. Set goals. What do you really want? Because in what, diba, if you put yourself in that perspective, you need to sacrifice a lot of things.
Now I have a question for you.
Diba?
What do you really want?
What do you really want right now?
No, not right now.
Right now,
What will make you say it's time to rest? I'm good.
I'm not very sure kasi every time kasi I have a goal. At the age of 25, ito yung goal ko. So ngayon okay na. At the age of 30, ganito naman ang goal ko. But I think I'm seeing myself working in government.
Government. That is your end goal. You want to serve the government.
It's something na
You're
hindi, I'm
passionate
not
about.
naman hindi ko tinataas yung bangko ko, but I'm blessed right now. And this kind of blessing, I really want to share it to the people because I know by myself that I am very innovative, I am very flexible, and I have something to share to the people. It's not something na for the love of the country, kumbaga. I want to do things because I know that I could help to uplift the life of the Filipino people. I know that I can do that.
I see.
I know that I can help. I have the connections. I have the talents. I have the people. I have the right people. So I think I could really help the Philippine people to uplift their life, whether it's a small community or a bigger community. I don't know.
It's ang gandang pakinggan na tangina, meron ka talagang bigger purpose, bigger goal rather than just serving
Yeah.
yourself and the people close to you.
Kasi serving yourself is like walang fulfillment yon, to be honest. When I was 19, I got already millions, to be honest. So, I can buy anything I want.
Tangina.
I can go abroad.
When I was 19, I have like 200. Pwede na.
So, I can actually travel abroad. I went to Europe. I went to different places. But it doesn't give you that kind of fulfillment in life.
Really?
That's why I keep searching. Ano ba yung magiging fulfillment ko, di ba?
Yeah.
And I think helping people in a way na I could help a very good person to be elected in a certain position, and from there I could advise this public official to do good, to do more good things, di ba? Kasi right now, the reality in politics, I am not very sure of it, is that we are run by these old people. And we are in the new age. We are in the modern time. We are already in a world that there's a social media that we could use to rally behind or promote an advocacy. We are in the age that everything is possible. We could do some creative solution in every problem. I just wish that we have more young people to actually run the government. Because with young people, I think there's a hope. Tama nga si Rizal. Si Rizal ba nagsabi? No? I'm very
Kabataan,
sure.
Pag-asa ng Bayan.
Yeah.
It was from him. I want to go back to what you
Okay.
said earlier. That by 19, you had your millions.
Okay.
Kasi one of the things that I read, na sabi kasi doon, in order to fully understand if you're happy, you have to be rich first.
Okay.
Kasi when you're rich, you don't have an excuse. Kasi pwede mo na bilhin lahat eh. Because most of the people that aren't always say na pag may pera ako, masaya ako. But when you are, which I don't want to say that you are, but you are. How is it up there?
Okay, I'm not up there.
No,
ha?
how is it living?
O yung 1
comfortable?
million ngayon, Diyos ko, sinasabi ko sa inyo, sobrang liit lang yan.
How is it living comfortable life? Is it, kasi most people say it's empty up there, that you're still searching for something.
Okay.
What are you searching for?
Emptiness. I'm
if
not
it's
sure. Okay. I'm super busy person actually. I don't feel emptiness in my heart. Okay. With money kasi you can buy comfortable life. And with money you can help many people, to be honest.
Yeah, that's true.
With money kasi, to be honest, if you're stressed out, you can buy things like this and like that. Nawawala yung stress mo. For example, like me, I'm like that. If I'm really stressed out, I just buy things, small things, or whatever, basta bibili ako. And it makes me happy na. With that kind of comfortability, I'm okay. But I'm not there na na tipong I can buy an island in Palawan. I'm not that kind of person, okay? That's far.
Yun lang. I want to
That's far.
frame it in a way na parang if you have enough for yourself, would you be truly happy? Kasi most people who have aren't.
Okay.
But are you?
I'm not sure kasi money is not something that's not my goal to earn actually. It just happens, 'di ba, na yung business na pinasok ko has a lot of potential of earning actually.
If there's one thing you can keep,
Is
sa
I
lahat
can
ng
keep.
meron ka ngayon,
Okay.
what would it be? Not a thing, could be person, could be people, could be
Meron naman
possessions.
nun.
What would you keep?
What would I keep? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a
I'll give you choices. Okay? I can give you choices.
Okay.
These 5. Possession.
possession and love.
Love
Materials?
life. Yeah, material possession.
Okay.
Love life. Family. Freedom. Peace of mind. What would you?
Those things are really important to me.
So, I want to challenge you with that one question.
Maybe
So,
I will go to
What would you do?
It's a cliche, but I will always choose my family. My family is the foundation of everything. Kung ano man ako ngayon, kung saan man narating ako, because my mom and my dad supported me. My mama and papa made sure na I will be there.
Kasi,
And every step and I do, I'm guided by my ates and kuyas. I think I'm very thankful in that part, and I have ates and kuyas who make sure na tama pa rin yung ginagawa ko. They always try to guide me, and I have a very spiritual mom who always prays for me that whatever I do or decide on something, it's always guided by the higher being. So I will keep my family no matter what.
It's really family.
It's all about family. It's cliche, but
Yeah, that's
family
a good
is very important.
That's a good answer. So, I mean, 9 times out of 10, yun ang sasagot ng tao. And
Yeah.
that's true. Now, my next question is second to the last. Merong mga gustong maging influencers, content
Okay.
creators, merong mga hustling businessmen and women.
Okay.
What would be your advice to, since you don't consider yourself as a content creator,
Yeah, I'm not even
then
an
what would be
influencer.
your advice to our members or our viewers who are all eager to start their own business right now?
I think look for something that you're passionate about. Look for something that you love about. Kasi pag love mo yung isang bagay at passionate ka sa isang bagay, hindi ka mahihirapan. There will be problems, there will be struggles. Pero as long as you love and passionate, you will really push and push. You continue to push no matter what are the problems are, no matter na mag-struggle ka pa dyan, you will push because you love that one, you're passionate about that.
That's true.
So that's the key. You just need to look for something that you are passionate and you really love doing that. Kasi para hindi ka ma-burn out. Kasi if napipilitan ka lang sa bagay because, ito kasi malaki ang return of investment nito, malaki ang kikitain ko nito, pero you're not passionate about it, you will be burned out. Wala kang magagawang tatak, kumbaga. So look for something that you're really passionate, you love doing it. Kasi if you really love what you're doing, hindi siya magiging work, hindi siya magiging business. It's something na you just love doing it and there's fun about it.
When you love what you do, tangina, it's fucking worth it.
Yeah.
Every step of the way. That's how it goes. Before we end,
Okay.
thank you very much for
Thank you so much,
for
Lee,
being
for
part
inviting
of,
me. So basically, if you're a public official or if you're someone who is interested to run in a public office, just stop me. Just look for Bran, Reluao and Associates, and we will help you. As long as we can help you. So I think that's it. Thank you so much. Thank you
you.
so much,
Tang-
Lee.
Pucha. Thank you very much.
Love you so much for
Love you,
inviting
man.
me here.
Thanks.
as in.
Sobrang daming wisdom.
Thank you, guys. I'm not very sure with my answer. Bye.